Welcome back to Brohive, everyone. I'm very far from the microphone now.
Oh my god, he is very far, but it's fine. We love him.
It's true, it's true. I am too. But Joey and Jeremy have took center stage because they are the ones telling the stories.
And due to the power of editing, it is most likely the next day.
Oh my, well maybe not. Casey uploads weird
It might take a while.
Casey takes a long time, but it's fine because we're talking about
Lycanthropy.
Lycanthropes. Jeremy is going to take most of the helm on this one because he DM'd this one.
Yeah, I did. Actually,
you DM'd?
it was it was the first time I DM'd. This story was the first time I'd ever DM'd, and if I do say so myself, I think I did pretty good.
He did pretty well. So, what happened? Set the stage. What happened?
All right. So in this world, this is a completely different world. We told you about Smorf and our world
Smorf and Alec the Dickless.
Smorf and Alec the Dickless. That's a different campaign. This campaign is set in a world called Atana. And basically the way we worked this was that anyone in the group can DM the campaign at any time. So basically we have a new DM every week, and it's really interesting because we have new adventures every time.
Yeah, from everyone's different take on it.
Yes. So this particular week, I was DMing, and I basically came into the game only knowing one thing. Actually, two. I knew two things.
Oh my god, he has a gun! What the fuck? Where do you get a gun?
Fucking waddle tank.
I mean, you're a tank. He needs something.
I need to defend myself!
So I knew two things. I wanted it to be outside of a city called Porf, and I wanted it to be about.
You wanted to be called specifically Porf.
Yes,
it was Porf.
It was Porf. We had drawn up a map earlier.
Yeah, there was a massive map.
So I wanted it. What the fuck?
Nice, Kirby! Jesus! I'm down!
So I wanted it to be outside of Porf, and I wanted it to be about lycanthropes. Basically, if you don't know what lycanthropes are,
It's a werewolf.
It's a werewolf and other items.
And other
So it's not like
It's a werewolf, but wait, there's more!
Yeah.
were-tigers, were-boars.
Yeah,
And in Curse of Strahd, they added were-ravens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they did.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. They all
So
have different alignments and different powers.
So to set the stage, in this game, we have a spell slinger who basically shoots guns at people, but enchants his bullets with spells.
nice.
We
That's always a
have we have two bards. Two.
Keep in mind, in this one, most of our characters are short spellcasters.
Yes. Most of them are below 5 feet tall.
Oh dear. Oh, man, literally short.
Yes.
Literally short
Yes.
spellcasters.
Yes. We
Tiny
have
people coming to kill you.
we have a what's John?
Oh, yeah, another short spellcaster.
Yeah.
There's a halfling warlock.
He's a sorcerer, right?
No, he's a warlock.
Oh, he's a
There's a
warlock.
halfling warlock, a half mimic bard,
Yes.
another bard who was a human, a goblin spellslinger, so like gunslinger, but also wizard. And there was one more in that. I think it was it the ghoul?
Oh yeah, we had a ghoul and then
Yes, a ghoul.
oh yeah, Fishy wasn't there. Or was it?
No,
was.
it was the rogue. It was the ghoul rogue.
Yeah. So we had a ghoul rogue,
And that was it.
and that was it. So we have a very interesting cast of characters. So basically, they get to this town, and the town is completely desolate. No one's outside. There's really no like life to be seen. And obviously, their first instinct is to go to the bar.
Of
Of course, as any campaign starts.
Yes. So they go to the bar and
or something. Or
You're doing it
You're doing it. It's not something.
yes, they go to the bar and they immediately both bards try to entertain people.
And nobody was having
Nobody was having their shit. So the barkeep, who was this very attractive young woman, was like, "Get the fuck out, or I'm gonna have you arrested."
She's just very lovely, attractive.
No, she was very
Get
lovely
the
and
fuck
attractive.
out of here, you freeloader prick!
Exactly.
She was kind of a dick.
So they left and they did some investigating in the town and they met up with the town mayor. His name was Yema. Some of you might know that name.
It was King Yema from
It was
Dragon
King
Ball.
Yema from Dragon Ball.
Heck.
So
he was a dwarf. He was also a little bit of an asshole.
he was a
Little bit.
little bit of an asshole, but it was mainly because he was protecting his town.
Yeah, he was
So-
justified asshole.
Yeah. So they meet up
One
with
of those things.
they meet up with Yema, Mayor Yema, and he's like, I don't know anything about the lycanthropes except that they live in the northeast woods. Or the northwest woods, I'm sorry. And so they're like, well shit, we haven't gotten any farther than we were in the past. So, basically, most of the party goes into the woods, and they're just like, we're just gonna go explore.
The other half of us...
The other half
was like,
of them...
hey, we're gonna stay in the tavern, because... Well, I was playing the Spellslinger, and I was like, I don't want to do this right now. I'm gonna stay in the tavern. I want to sleep. I want to work on my guns and shit.
and so while half of the party is journeying into the woods, our female bard,
the resident
she is the
Our
only
chick.
female. She's the only female in this game.
In this session, yeah, I think so.
Our resident chick was like,
resident female.
I'm a bard. I'm gonna try to seduce the bartender to give us information. And I was like, oh, okay. This will be interesting. Because I had something planned. And I was like, okay, yeah, you can do that, by all means. And so she rolled was it persuade? No, it was a baseline charisma check.
Yeah.
She rolled.
Keep fucking murdering me.
She rolled a charisma check, and she was like, "Can I cast Friends on that?"
What the fuck?
So Friends basically gives you advantage on charisma checks and stuff, and persuasion checks. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? You can do whatever you want." And so she rolled, and she succeeded on Friends, and I was like, all right, what do you want to say to her? And she's like, I want to ask her if she's into girls. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you can do that.
The first thing my bisexual friend did when she found a girl in the game was try to seduce her, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just a bard thing.
It's just a bard thing.
To try and seduce.
Bards are horny as fuck.
Yeah.
That's their trade.
So I was like, yeah, you
Fuck
can
rocks.
totally do that.
Fuck rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is possible.
Yeah.
Greg did
You
it.
can just cut a hole in the rock. It's fine.
So I was like, yeah, totally, you can definitely do that. So she did it, and she succeeded, and the bartender was like,
kill you, just so you know.
the bartender was like, why don't you come up to my room? And our friend, her name's Jackie, she was like, fuck yeah, I did it. And I was like, yep, you did it. And so she starts having sex with this bartender. And I was like,
and I knew.
oh
there
yeah,
was a
Joey.
reason. Because Jeremy had instead of just saying, yeah, this happens, he started to slightly describe it, and I knew something was gonna happen.
So yeah, so I kind of wanted to make everybody uncomfortable, but at the same time, I kind of just wanted to fuck with Jackie. So I started describing how they were having sex.
Oh dear God.
And I was like,
as you do.
as you do. And so I was like, it's really hot. You're really enjoying it. All this good stuff. And then she bites your neck.
What the fuck?
And Jackie's like, oh hell yeah, she's kinky. And I'm like, no.
You were bleeding from
No. She's not kinky. She's a were-rat.
A were-rat.
So Jackie goes, what's that? And I was like,
What does it sound like? Context clues!
So,
There's a lot of hints happening here!
So, in D&D, if a lycanthrope bites you, you have to make a Constitution check because lycanthropy is a curse.
it's a disease.
So you have to. It's a
Wait,
disease.
can you get it repelled though?
You can.
Yes. So you have to make a Constitution check,
God.
and if you
It's
succeed on that check, the curse doesn't affect you. You don't get cursed. She did not succeed.
Where did you go?
I'm
There you
very confused. Okay, well, I'm dead.
She did not succeed. So she turned into a were-rat. She got the lycanthropy virus. And she's like, what does that mean? What did you do to me? And I was like, don't worry, it won't take effect for a couple of hours.
Oh my God.
Immediately after this happens, she runs out into the hallway,
Oh yeah, that was great.
stark naked, and starts screaming for us to help her.
While this were-rat is trying to kill her.
We were in the next room sleeping, and so I hear it. I walk out, And I use context clues. I see Jackie standing there. Her name was Jackie.
Yeah, her name's Jacqueline in the game.
I see Jackie standing there naked and a were-rat running behind her. I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot the rat.
Yeah. So they had a small fight. They had a small fight with the were-rat. Meanwhile, the same time that this whole like were-rat debacle was going on with Jackie, 3 of them were in the woods.
This whole were-rat kerfuffle.
Yes, three of them were in the woods. And
Three of the were-rats?
No. 3 of the party members.
Oh.
We missed a party member. It was another mouse folk who was a barbarian.
Oh yeah, a mouse folk
Sorry,
barbarian.
Can we please call this story the lycanthropy kerfuffle?
All right.
Of course
Thank
we
you.
can.
Yeah, definitely.
So, the mouse folk, the rogue, and the warlock were in the woods, and they found a big ass hole.
A big asshole or a big hole?
No,
A big
a
ass-
big
a big
ass.
It was
asshole.
both. It was the asshole of a golem.
It might as well have been.
Okay.
So they go down inside of it, and they're like, "Oh, this looks weird as shit." And there's some runes and all this crazy stuff there. And eventually, they find
Another
altar
were-rat.
with a were-rat. So they fight that, and guess who gets bit?
The mouse folk.
Oh,
Which,
wait, that's... What? Wait.
Yeah.
There's not really much of a difference.
No, there's not really much of a
Oh
difference.
no, I'm...
It's just.
Oh god, that's the worst one!
So,
What kind of hell is this?
so basically, now 2 of them are were-rats. The barkeep gets killed. The barkeep dies.
The other were-rat escapes.
The other were-rat escapes. They don't know where it ran off to. And so the next day, they're like, no, we need to investigate this further. So Joey's character, who surprisingly rarely talks, was actually the most helpful person in this entire, like, game.
Oh yeah, my spell slinger is like a bounty hunter who is really closed off. He seldom talks ever to anyone, and whenever he says something, it's important. And he was starting to talk a lot in this game.
This
Never
Kirby boss fight is extreme.
Yeah, seriously.
This is horrifying. He never talks to any of the player characters. It's always the NPCs he talks to, which I feel is kind of funny. It's like, you talk, yeah, just not to you.
My words are valuable. I don't spend them on you.
So we find out that hey, there's actually like a cult of were-rats called the Whisker Sisters that are running around this place.
No. You don't get to say that. You gotta run that by me again.
Yeah.
They're called the
Whisker
Whisker Sisters.
You can't just
Fair enough.
one does not simply
All right.
just say that once.
Moving on.
The Whisker Sisters.
Okay. Moving on.
They were
Yeah,
running this
moving
place, and they were running amok, and they were being really shitty, and nobody liked them.
What was the name of the girl at the general store?
Griselda, I think?
Griselda.
I talked
Yeah.
a lot to Griselda. We got a lot of information out of her. She was chill.
Griselda became their best friend.
And so, eventually we were like, hey, let's go back to those ruins that you guys were dicking around in. And they seemed like big lycanthropy shit, so let's go there. Let's go see if they're there again. Because why not?
Yeah. So they all 6 of them journey there, and they find
Now we can go.
they
I hate this logic so much.
they find
You're player 2, you don't get to make the choices.
I'm sure I like have no reason being in this game, honestly. Like Waddle Dee, I'm sorry. You can get back to the story in a second. Waddle Dee is fucking useless.
Also, why is he green? He was red in the
because
cutscene.
because you
played
player
it
3 for some
somehow.
reason.
It says player 2 on the controller.
Hey, man,
I don't know what's going on. He's going
playing-
over the story. Whisker
maybe-
Sisters, move on.
Whisker
Zelda.
Sisters. So, all 6 of them end up going to this, like, hole in the ground, and they find Yema in the hole. And they're like, Yema, what the fuck are you doing here? And some of them are like, yo, this guy's sketchy as fuck. But some of them are like, no, he's just defending his town.
Meanwhile, secretly, me and the bard, like at the as players at the table, were just like, "Yo, $5 says Yema is like a big bad lycanthrope, like a were-tiger or some shit."
So, Yema's like, look, I've had it with these lycanthropes. I'm here to kill them so my town can finally have peace. And the group's like, oh yeah, that's what we're trying to do. And he's like, well, I know the way to their lair. Why don't I take you there? And they're like,
This sounds unsuspicious and safe at the same time.
he's like, yeah, okay. So they follow Yama, and he takes them to their lair.
He wanted it.
And then
myself.
he
I couldn't have got it myself.
he turns around and he goes, "I'm sorry, but I can't keep having you meddle in my affairs." And he transforms into a werebear.
Oh boy.
And Joey's like, "Called it!"
Yeah.
Gotcha! And
Fucking called it.
out of nowhere, 2 more were-rats, because there were 3 Whisker sisters.
Chris, you need to kill this
Oh, I'm
thing.
sorry, do you need my help?
I can't!
Do you need my help for something?
Fuck you!
So,
I got goggles!
out of nowhere, the 2 more Whisker sisters pop out, and they have this really good battle.
Yeah.
And they kill the 2 were-rats.
I'm sorry.
They kill the 2 were-rats before they kill...
Casey, you're an asshole.
Wow.
Dude, we're like 6 stars on.
dick.
There's 4 right there.
You're a dick. Anyway.
So
dumbass.
they
kill the
kill
were-rats.
these 2 were-rats before they kill the werebear. And little did they know that when lycanthropes die, they revert back to their human form.
Oh.
So,
So I just found a naked corpse. of a person.
no. As they
Take a wild
kill-
guess who one of the were-rats was.
As they kill these were-rats, one of them transforms into Griselda.
Oh my god.
And Jackie, the one that was turned into a were-rat, she loved Griselda. And so she goes, "Why? Why did you do this?" And I went, "Because I hate you."
Lesson
Because I hate you.
lesson of this
I
story.
never liked it.
Lesson of this story. Any NPC that turns out to be important will probably die.
Don't like
probably
NPCs.
die.
They're gonna die or they're gonna want to kill you.
Do not make spiritual or emotional connections with people. It will just end up in death.
Just be like a fucking chaotic neutral douchebag who is dumb at the world.
But at
Yeah,
the same time, that
that's-
makes it completely like boring.
I'm-
Though.
it's a joke.
Chaotic neutral. Though?
It is a joke.
Chaotic neutral can be interesting.
Oh, shit!
God.
It
I
can
wasn't
be,
expecting so much.
It can be.
Anyway,
Oh, well.
so they finally fight to the death of this werebear, but right before he dies, he goes, "There can only be one, and there has to be one." And he chomps down on Joey's shoulder.
No, it was my side.
Oh, right, it was your
Right in
abdomen.
the sky.
They come back.
Yeah. And again, little did they know, werebears are very protective of their lycanthropy. Normally, there can only be one werebear in an area, but they're
So
also
not good at that.
very self-preservative. So this werebear basically said, "I'm gonna die, but I want this lycanthropy to continue," and he gave it to Joey.
So
I think it would have been better if he threw his tooth at. He like pulled out his tooth and chucked it at him. Boom.
so the goblin,
Oh look, there you are, Chris.
It's me.
the 3-foot-tall goblin. The story's about to end. You don't have to start another one.
Alright.
So the 3-foot-tall goblin now is part werebear, which when you transform from humanoid to werebear form, you become a 9-foot-tall, werebear with arms and legs. And you get a big ass great axe as your weapon. So you go from 3 foot to 9 foot, and then you can just go full bear if you want to. So that's how we
Awesome,
ended
yes.
that. That's how we ended that adventure.
Oh, and then the 2 people that turned out like were gonna be were-rats,
They
they
got
wanted
that
to get
cured.
them changed. They wanted to change back. So I was just like, yeah, the high wizard in Porf changes you back. It's fine.
Well, not the
cure it.
werebear.
They cure it for
Fuck 'em.
money.
No, the
Fuck
werebear
you.
decided to keep it.
I decided to keep it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, being
so-
a werebear isn't the worst curse you can
So
have.
now,
Exactly.
and because I'm a spell slinger,
You could always
my
be a
guns
were-rat.
also work like how Eldritch Knight's weapons work,
Huh.
where I can teleport them to my hand. So I'm a bear with guns.
Good.
So that's the story of lycanthropy.
And remember, everybody.
Kerfuffle.
Remember, everybody. It can always be worse because you could always be a were-rat.
It could always be one of the dreaded Whisker sisters.
Oh my god.
Next time on Brohive.
See you then.
We're fucking were-rats, man.
Dude, what the fuck? What, of all the magical
Were-rats
curses,
are so funny.
Of all the magical curses we had to contract, it was literally the Black Plague of
It was
curses.
the worst one.
No,
It's
it's the worst one. They're weak, they're neutral evil, and the only thing they do is search for a more powerful
Casey.
lycanthrope to follow.